Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots. Oh, hell yeah. The green room is back. It's been a long time since I've heard your guys' voice. How y'all been?
Well, aren't you in for a surprise tonight? Hell yeah, man.
How are we all doing?
Good, bro.
You guys got me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. Now I can hang up from my phone call and actually talk here on Skype with you guys. I got it all squared away.
Outstanding, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's good to be back. Thanks so much, Kaz, for covering down.
Sure thing, dude. Anytime.
So how's everyone's evening going? I'm already
it's
pretty big.
Groovy, man. I've still got the music in the background. Are we live now, man?
Oh, we're absolutely live, man.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, man. So, dude, it's been fucking groovy, dude. It's been pretty wild and crazy here in the Jason household. I've got a pregnant wife, so that's always fun and games.
Those are always fun.
Hell yeah, man. So we're gonna have the baby in January, and for those of you that are just tuning in, this is the green room. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the green room is back on the fucking air, and WTF Nation is now complete. I mean, it's got its cannabis analyst back on.
Yeah, I've missed this time of stroking our egos and listening to our own voices. So thanks for that.
Right.
It's been so boring over here in the Charlie household.
So for those of you tuning in the first time, I'm your host Jason. That lovely voice for radio just came over. That is my buddy there, Charlie. And yes, you are.
Yes, I am.
As you very well should be. So the point of what we do here is WTF Nation is all about the voice of the military and giving our veterans that voice in the community. And we are here to give the stoners of that demographic a little bit of a voice, to share the good news of cannabis and what it can do for those of you that don't want to rely on chemicals. And we just kind of...
Pills suck.
Right? They suck ass.
It's bad. I'm just so glad that, I'm in a state where it's legal, and I can use it to control my seizure, my pain, use it to control any anxiety issues that I have, as opposed to having to wake up in the morning and pour a big ass cup of milk or whatever to fucking take your pills with, that handful,
right.
The fistful of fucking Skittles from the Army and from the VA. But I'm just glad I'm in a place where I don't have to worry about that.
Oh yeah, and see that's the point. Is we've got two voices here that have turned away from the Skittles that are plaguing our community. I guess you could say. I mean, it's a crisis. It's a pandemic across the nation. We're seeing opiate deaths and overdoses all across the country, and the veteran community is one of the hardest hit of those.
And that's not an over exaggeration. That's not.
No, I don't think it's an overstatement at all. And
no.
You can see the news, almost every day. Maybe not every day.
Our
but
community's definitely most severe. Yeah, me. If it's not every day, it's because they've pulled it off. Because it's become so monotonous that, it's just a.
Yeah, 60 Minutes had an excellent program. It was like 3 weeks ago, where they had a whistleblower who was actually he was an attorney for the DEA. And they were talking about the opioid addiction and his job as an attorney for the DEA. He was prosecuting out of control pharmacies and pain clinics, and he was going after the really big fish. And
well, yeah, back in the, I guess it was probably the early 2000s, we started seeing a lot of the pill mills come up where uh, everybody and their cousin is having to see a pain management specialist. And those pain management specialists, that their job and their purpose was to make money off of pharmaceuticals. Um, I don't
And
want
that they have
to generalize and say that the only people that went there were pillheads, but a large population of people. And there's study after study. If you don't believe me, you just Google it, you'll find it. That show that the opioid crisis is directly linked to prescription happy doctors. They get started in the medical offices, and whenever those prescriptions run out, they hit the streets. And if they can't, they sell their prescriptions. They make more money, and they buy even more on the street. I mean, it's shitty. But welcome to our show.
That word totally describes it. Shitty.
Yeah, right now we're streaming live on Mixer. You guys can catch us at mixer.com/WTF Nation Radio. We're going to be going live here on Facebook. For some reason, it wouldn't let me go live immediately, so I had to schedule us to go live.
Yeah, I just saw that in the chat. You were just saying something about that.
So
yeah, I just got the notification.
All caps.
So
caps.
Well, kind of. I had my caps lock on.
Hit the shift key, lowercase w.
Yeah, but
well, yeah, I went. So Mixer is a newer platform. This is the first time that we've broadcasted on Mixer. So all of you guys tuning in tonight.
I think this is the second or third. We did it 2 times before because I still have it up and saved on my computer. The Mixer. Yeah, so we're not new to it, but we have had a bit of a hiatus.
I was gonna say, man, you guys have you guys have been away for a while, so it's kind of like getting back on that bike and learning to ride again.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, man! Getting back in the swing of things is definitely this whole week. I've been looking at articles, and I've been reading and just doing a whole lot more research than I usually do in preparation for this weekend. I've had a blast looking through it all. There's been a lot of shit going on, so it's been a few months since we've been on the air, and for those of you that tune in and listen to us pretty frequently, we love talking about our government, and we love talking about what's going on in current events with our military. And one of the things that we hit on a lot was the all of the uproar that's going on in the Far East right now, with North Korea, China, South Korea, Japan, all of that, right? And I don't want to bog down our opening segment here with a whole lot of news articles, because we've definitely got that covered throughout the rest of the show. But I was reading something the other day. I think it may have been earlier today, where China has loosened its reins on South Korea. Whenever the United States was originally going to put their TAD system in South Korea, China flipped the fuck out. They were protesting South Korea's soul so bad, and because they were afraid that the radar systems, the communication devices, and everything that comes along with the TAD system would easily be modified for spying and espionage situations.
Yeah, which I wouldn't doubt it if it was possible.
Well, the other day, China and South Korea had some debate, some discussions, and everything, and they came to a solution that South Korea, Seoul, would not introduce any new ballistic or defense systems or enter any new treaties with U.S., Japan, or the European or any European nations.
Yeah,
that's pretty fucking bold to go and do that. I mean, it was even more bold that South Korea signed into it. So that's something that kind of brings up a lot of question marks for me.
Wasn't there
Yeah.
that major disaster happened? Like there was like an underground explosion or something, and miners were killed, and then the people who
That
went
was
in
in
to dig them out, they were also killed. Korea, right?
Yeah, that was in North Korea after the latest nuclear test where they supposedly tested a hydrogen device
Oh, okay.
underground.
So they have
That Yeah, their
they
entire
have confirmed that
underground
they
nuclear
tested a
facility.
hydrogen.
Well, they have the
Collapse,
confirmation as
caved in.
far
Yeah.
as the confirmation as far as the as to what sort of device it's been is still up to debate in the nuclear physics community and all that jazz. But the point of it, where that test was conducted, whether whether it was a fusion or hydrogen, I don't know. But that test site collapsed and then collapsed again, and the debris set off. There was nuclear debris detected in South Korea from that event. Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. It's crazy.
That's
And
that's nuts, dude. But silver lining is their program's been, delayed quite a bit because I assume they had their best minds there inside the nuclear facility when it went down, right? One can assume because they were conducting a test, so you'd assume that it'd be all hands on deck.
well, it's post
That
test.
could be
It
silver
was
lining
after
to a bunch of dead North Koreans.
Well, I don't know, man, because it was after the test. The
Okay.
collapse didn't occur until weeks after the test. So these guys were probably back in their labs and their offices in Pyongyang.
How did so many people die then?
Well, you still got people that work there.
First wave was like
they've got
130 people
containers.
died in the facility.
I mean, they're
That's
still
crazy.
maintaining.
Yeah, I don't know too much about their. I don't want
staff.
to the ins and outs of fucking infrastructure. Yeah, that's a lot of staff.
Yeah,
It sucks to suck. It really does.
yeah. So
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, I went and picked up my great grandfather's '48 Chevy, and I haven't done shit on it. You guys have seen me talk about this in the chat and everything, but I'm finally going to be getting started back on it and get to working in on it this coming up week, and I'm excited. I'm stoked.
Nice.
Was that your project
Yeah.
car that you picked up, or
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that was my great grandfather.
Yeah, the one he said he wouldn't let me drive.
Well, I told you, if you help me work on it, I'll let you drive it. That's a
Okay.
fair exchange.
You said you said that I couldn't drive it. You said you'd let me ride in it if I helped you work on it, and I was like, nah, that's not.
Well, you gotta do enough. I mean,
I'll drive it. Yeah,
well, I mean, obviously,
I
you
can
gotta do
turn a
enough work.
wrench.
Well, obviously, you gotta do enough work that it's worth you driving. You can't just like put a headlight in and be like, hey, I'm gonna get to drive now. No, I mean, you gotta help me put the damn motor in and get everything back together.
That's a lot, but it'll be worth it to drive a 48.
Right?
Back when cars were cars.
They were actually made of steel, and you can put a magnet on it, and it sticks.
Right? Well, actually, all right. So, true story. Whenever I was driving when I was trailering it back home, the trailer lights on the trailer went out, and I stopped and I grabbed two of those magnetic flashing lights. And I put one on each side of the car, and I had my magnetic flashers going the entire way from where I picked it up to where I came home. And I was scared shitless the whole fucking time that there was going to be a cop that was going to pull me over just because of those, and I wasn't going to be able to make it the rest of the way home because they were going to tell me I couldn't drive any further.
Right.
It took an act of God getting that thing onto the back of the trailer. That thing the curb weight on it is about 3,000 pounds. I mean, it's
Mhm.
fucking heavy.
It's a big car.
Yeah, and it's all steel.
Yep. It's like I said, back when cars were cars. Is my voice coming through okay now?
You're coming in a little bit better now. Yeah, man.
Jesus,
So-
what the fuck?
So I'm gonna go this week. I'm gonna get it jacked up and get it on some blocks and start taking it apart and see what I'm working with. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Does it have an engine in it?
It does. It does. It's got an inline six.
Woof.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad as hell. I'm really excited to get into it and see whether or not it was used for running moonshine. That's what I'm hoping to find that it was used for, and find like a 70-year-old bottle of hooch in there somewhere. That'd be pretty legit.
Is the engine in good shape? I mean, is it something that'll run again?
Yeah, I mean, it was driven into the chicken house that I picked it up at, and
Oh,
it was kept in the chicken house in the South. And I mean, everything, the body lines are on point. All of the glass, there's one pane of glass that I'm gonna have to replace, and it's one of the little small mirrors in the back, in the passenger area.
Okay.
There's just somebody put a damn BB through it. Like, there's a pellet or a BB hole in it. I might have to replace it. That's the only. I mean,
People are dicks.
it was probably. I mean, it was one of my cousins. I mean, one of my cousins was a dickhead and put a fucking pellet through it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's only.
There was some before my grandfather passed away. He had a motorhome that he had in front of his house. He went out there twice, and both times it was within like a 2-month period. His windshield had been shot out by kids with a pellet gun. Like, fucking dicks, dude.
that is some bullshit. Hey man,
Yeah.
and speaking of dick, hey, did you see that shit happen earlier this week, man? The Navy earned some damn cred, man.
About them dicks.
Yeah. So for those of y'all that have been living under a rock, out in Washington, Whidbey Island, the Navy facility out there had a pilot that had a little bit of let's call it sense of humor, if you will. And he got out there and did some skywriting and drew a big penis over the sky of several towns. And
That's
the
great.
Navy was
That is
the
fucking.
Navy was not amused.
Well,
They
yeah,
called it
obviously
sophomoric.
not.
You know
They
what?
call it a sophomoric, and then they said that there's no room for sophomoric sexual or harassing antics in the Navy. Like, what fucking Navy are they part of?
Yeah.
I mean, I have
That-
never heard a
that's
Navy story
hilarious.
that did not include some grab ass
Yeah.
somewhere.
Some dick. No, dick. It's always dick. It's the
Yeah, there's
Navy.
always a penis involved. It is indeed the Navy. You're right.
You know, probably.
But-
No, it's fucking it's hilarious. I think it's pretty fucking funny, but I'm an infantryman with a sense of humor. So,
You know, it probably took a few minutes to actually do that artistry in the sky. Those jets, those jets
I
have.
wonder if he had a co-conspirator on the ground telling him, okay, 18 degrees left.
Well, you know,
Doing shit like that.
there's got to be, those aircraft have cockpit voice recorders, so you know you're going to hear throughout
Yeah.
that entire flight. He's probably laughing his ass off as he's doing all these
Yeah.
maneuvers.
Yeah, we got ground control coming in saying,
Go ahead.
we got ground control coming in. Hey, Wildcat, yeah, you've got a trail coming out your jet, and is that up? All right, we're gonna need you to come on and land. Yeah, go ahead and land now. Land.
That's fucking hilarious. In my opinion, I think it's pretty fucking fun.
Yeah,
Kudos.
listening to the stories, they're like, yeah, so we were looking up there and we saw him. He was drawing a big figure 8, and then there's a penis.
Yeah, they put him in like a holding pattern, didn't they? And I wonder if he was just pissed off about being in a holding pattern, so he decided to do that.
Like that pilot. I don't know if we can give the entire branch props, but we can definitely give Navy pilots some
The
fucking props
aviation.
there.
No doubt. Naviation.
Naviation. I see what you did there. It's because it's the Navy aviator, right? The Navy.
You know me so well. I'm glad that our 2 months off the air, our chemistry hasn't rusted.
What?
Got that.
Who?
And you know he's gonna have all these
all right.
stories to tell his kids and his grandkids too, which is gonna be awesome.
Oh yeah.
All right,
I wonder.
Grandpa. Why did you
Let's
get
do
kicked
it,
out of the Navy?
Because I think Trump is going to have something to say about it, something funny to say about it. But Pence, on the other hand, I don't know how they're going to view
I
this.
don't know, there's going to be a new hat that says "Grab him by the sky dick" or some shit like that.
There you
I
go.
heard they grounded the flight crew.
I don't doubt that.
You know, pending whatever UCMJ. You know, and they might just be kind of saber rattling right now and just saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna drum him out of the Navy," but then he might just end up with a letter of reprimand and nothing.
I don't know. He better hope that. I don't know. I'm afraid that big sky dick very well may have fucked his career.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, but so
I can see how people say it's sophomoric, but it's still pretty awesome.
Right. It's. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're used to seeing graffiti dicks everywhere. I mean, people draw them in bathrooms all over the place. So I mean, it's just a graffiti dick that will go away whenever the wind blows.
Fucking first person that passes out gets together for there was our Sky Taboo.
Usually gets at least
I still think it's pretty fucking funny.
Usually the first person that passes out gets at least 2 penises drawn on their forehead. At least. So
it's science, man.
Right? I mean, we've been there, we know. But no, man.
But I do give this guy props, his crew. That's pretty fucking funny.
Right?
Pretty original.
So there's some other stuff now. Kind of coming back full circle about the cannabis and everything. I wanted to get back to one of the articles.
I wonder if the pilot was high.
You know what? That's
Maybe.
possible. And you know what? He didn't die. If he was on the cannabis and he didn't die, like, he's doing better than some people, according to a couple of doctors in 2015. So
yeah,
in Colorado, in Colorado, there's a couple of poison control doctors that are listing an 11-month-old baby boy's cause of death as damage to his heart, which they're claiming was brought about by him ingesting some medibles. And their case is full of so many holes. And I mean, they're claiming, all right. So I mean, they're claiming that this is a death associated with a marijuana overdose, which would be effectively the first one in history.
The first, yeah, absolutely.
And the tests that they did, there were a lot of tests that they didn't do. There were some bacteria found, and the cause of death was myocarditis. And myocarditis, it has many different causes naturally. All right, bacterial infections, and there's a lot of unknown causes of myocarditis, especially in infants. Now, to ignore the fact that this child ingested cannabis and that the THC probably did increase his heart rate, and I imagine did definitely have that child feeling very ill, which brings us to a very important subject and a very important topic. And that's, as with any medicine, keep it out of reach of children. You know, cannabis may make you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it's common sense,
it's still medicine.
But obviously, it still needs to be drilled.
Well, exactly. And I don't get it. I don't understand it. But whatever it is that makes people, you know, I think we've gone from one end of the pendulum to the other, where we used to have people that were so afraid of cannabis that if they saw it, they were calling police, to now the point where they're so complacent with it that they don't respect it.
Laying around, yeah.
Right. They don't respect its medicinal value. And part of respecting medicinal value is respecting the fact that it very well may have an adverse effect on somebody that doesn't need the medicine.
Right. Yeah. This whole report is just way too much. Yeah. it's the only thing that they found in his blood was marijuana, was the high concentrations of marijuana. But at the same time, like you said, they can't definitively say it was marijuana that killed the kid.
Well, exactly. And see,
it was myocarditis. It says, however, others in the field question their findings, including a 2016 paper that said marijuana could not be determined as a cause of myocarditis. So this is a genetic disorder, myocarditis. I mean, it is a part of it happens in us naturally. Not all fucking, but it's just dumb to me that they're chasing this one like they've got something, even though they admit that they can't prove it.
Well, the first time I read this, the first thing that came to my mind was it's the death rattle of Reefer Madness.
I mean, yeah.
Death rattle of Reefer Madness. We're getting some of the tail end of the effects, where they're finding that they can no longer. I don't even know if I can say the argument that I make in person, because it's probably too risque. But let's say it's no longer that the immigrants are going to rape your daughters, or that the person of another skin is going to kill you and your family after smoking a spliff. No, that's not what it's about. They can't say that anymore because that's racist. They have to find a different delivery method, and it's bullshit medical reports that are unbased. There's no precedent. Just because there's no precedent doesn't mean that it's not true. But whenever you add all of this together, that there's no basis, there's no precedent, that the majority of the doctors in every medical field agree that cannabis is not fatal. Whenever they look at that, they have to, when you look at it with a critical mind, you've got to wonder, was there another underlying symptom here? Was there something that was unable to be proven after death because the child had a weak heart, or the child's immune system was compromised by a bacteria, which they did indeed find there was a bacterial presence in the infant. Okay. You've got to look at the environmental situation that they discussed, where this is a child that was living in a motel environment that had medibles and other drugs. They say drugs. They don't say cannabis. They specify drugs. So that's to say
demonization, further demonization.
Exactly. They list cannabis as being present in the room, but then they just slide right on by that there were and drugs. And whenever
amphetamines, fucking shit like that.
When you think about that breakdown, it brings a lot of question marks. I don't know, Kaz, what are you thinking, brother?
I think that the myocarditis could have, it could have been exacerbated by the 11-month-old kid ingesting the marijuana, but
definitely.
At what point are the parents held responsible? It's not the drugs. It's the responsibility of the parents to, that was in Colorado, correct?
Yeah.
So yes. So it's kind of along the lines of blaming the fork for being fat. It's kind of along the lines of blaming the fork for being fat, the gun for killing someone, or the car for running someone over.
Yeah.
It's dumb. I've got edibles here that look like candy. You can't trust that your kid is going to say, "Oh, well, that could be medicine." No, that shit looks. If my kids didn't know that it was my medicine and I didn't put it up, then I'd be fucking worried that they might try to grab some. But they know better, and I just never leave my shit alone. It's just poor form.
Exactly.
It's like,
and I don't want to, and I also kind of want to hit on another topic, another point of the hotel environment. Okay, so let's say that these parents were responsible, and we all know that children, especially young children, get into stuff. All right, we know this. The whole reason that we have families living in hotels, living in boxes in Colorado, because they can't afford it. people that have lived in Colorado their entire lives, that their rent is going up 3-4 times over the course of the past year and a half, 2 years, because of what is it? Medical refugees that are coming to states like Colorado, California, Washington, et cetera, that have both medicinal and recreational laws.
Right.
And we've got all of these refugees that are flocking to these states because we've got it scheduled at a Schedule 1 narcotic. Oh, I know you guys can't see this, but I'm scratching my head right now. I mean, this is really a head scratcher.
It's confusing as shit, man.
Right? But see, all right, so the point I was getting at is that these parents very well may have been. I don't want to demonize them because they've had a tragic loss a couple years ago. Tragic loss. And I do not want to make it sound like I'm demonizing them, or I don't know what the equivalent of this would be, but slut shaming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These
I
parents,
can see that.
These parents very well may have been good parents, but because of the situation, that was the only thing they had available, and they just could not hide it well enough. Not all hotel rooms have those built-in safes. I don't. All the ones I go to do, but I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it definitely sounds suspect.
I don't know, man. I remember when my kids were 11 months old, and they weren't out of sight for very long.
Right.
I mean, they were always they were always in front of either me or
markers and shit.
Yeah.
Right.
If I leave my daughter alone for 10 fucking minutes, dude, there's a new fucking mural on the wall.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck? And she's 4. I'm like, this is gonna stop because I have to paint now.
Well, see, I'm there with you. Hell, sometimes there are a lot of days where I don't even let my 9-year-old out of my sight, okay? Because I ain't stupid. My mom ain't raised no fool. I know what he's going to get into, and if I see that he's in a certain type of mood, come on, son, let's play video games.
But to the point, they're 11 months old, though. They're not getting into much at that age.
But I've seen a lot of parents, a lot of people are getting to the point where what are they calling it? Free range parenting, or whatever the fuck they're calling it nowadays.
Yeah, the anti-helicopter parent.
Children. Yeah, cage-free children and shit like that. Shut the fuck up. Quit being a fucking hippie. I mean, actually, be a hippie and spank your child. Hell, hippies even knew that you had to spank a child when they got out of line.
Yeah, you gotta be a parent. You have to be a role model for your kids, man.
Exactly.
You
gotta at least try,
Right.
I know a lot of parents out there that make shitty role models, but they at least know how to raise their child. Like, I would not want their child to want to grow up and be like them, but at least their child is being led in the right direction. Do as I say, not as I did, sort of thing,
I got it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think, I guess that's probably the goal of every parent. Well, every parent that loves a child is that they want their child to do better than them, and they want their child to have a better quality of life. And, I'm guilty of it. I let a lot of things slide that I probably shouldn't, but I'm a pretty strict parent. I'm pretty firm.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine. I could not imagine leaving a child alone long enough to, I guess, taking a nap and the child wakes up and you don't wake up when you hear them. It happens. But as a parent, like, I just, maybe I don't want to imagine, because it would break my heart if something like that were to happen to my children.
There's people that leave their kids in the car. I'm not surprised by parents nowadays.
Yeah. It's just,
I mean, I've lost so much fucking faith in humanity over the last fucking, just 10 years. But I don't know. There's not a whole lot we can do about that if people don't want to be parents.
Right. Yeah.
Dicks. More dicks.
More dicks, and these aren't in the sky. Oh man. So now what I was talking about. No, to go back to the the medical refugees and such, and them not being able to afford a place to live. How about California's going to make it to where they can't afford their fucking medicine? There's a CNN. Their
yeah, that's
money,
insane.
their money broadcast is reporting that California is to tax medical or cannabis, not medical, but cannabis, as much as 45%.
Is that recreational use though? That's for the. I mean, we're taxed pretty high here in Colorado too. I think it's like 36 or 37% for rec.
Yeah, this is recreational.
Oh,
This
okay.
is recreational.
Yeah,
This
because
does-
mine for my medical is only like 7%.
Yeah, this
So,
is
I
this
mean,
is
there's a huge
recreational.
difference. That
Uh,
still sucks.
yeah, it's ridiculous. So they're saying, all right, so buying legal marijuana in California could be pricey enough to keep the black market healthy. Between customers, retailers, and growers, taxes on cannabis may reach as high as 45% in parts of the state, according to a Fitch ratings report. Those high taxes may keep consumers away from legal marijuana stores once the recreational retail market goes live on 1 January. Consumers will pay a sales tax ranging from 22 and a quarter to 24 and a quarter, which includes the state excise tax of 15%, and additional state and local sales taxes ranging from 7 and a quarter to 9 and a quarter percentages. Local businesses will have to pay tax ranging from 1 to 20 of gross receipts, or $1 to $50 per square foot of marijuana plants, according to the Fitch report. They're getting these guys.
Yeah, but
Now,
still
what
not
you were
as
talking about
bad.
in Colorado. Now, what you were talking about in Colorado and Nevada, further on down in the article, both follow rates of 36%.
Yeah, I
And
said
Oregon's got a rate of 20, and Alaska is 20 as well. And it's saying medical
but
marijuana.
Washington State has the highest. Washington State has the highest at 50%.
Yeah, Washington State's pretty ridiculous, but I mean, that's the
Yeah.
only thing. I've been to a dispensary, and
Yeah,
the rates. I mean, it's still pretty cheap. I mean, I still make out like a bandit when I go in there compared to what I have to pay on the black market.
people now, because of these price hikes that are going out, looking for shit on the street. Like it's talking about the black market, and you never know what that shit's cut with, or fucking quality of it. This shit could be laced,
Yeah, definitely. Now, what is
Once
it with
again, money's the great
dispensaries?
motivator.
What's it with dispensary weed and how much they cure? Like, it seems like they cure their buds a lot longer than.
I don't know. To be honest, I haven't bought rec weed in 3 years,
No, I mean, I'm talking.
so I've kind of gotten used to it.
I mean, I'm talking about medical. I mean, why is it what it's? Now you get it, you break it, it's crunchy as hell. It just every dispensary I've gone to, it may just be in Seattle. I don't know what it's like in Colorado. I haven't been yet. But every
They're
dispensary,
pretty fluffy buds.
They look fluffy. They look real pretty. They smell delicious. But whenever you get them, they feel dry until you throw them in the grinder. And once you get them out of the grinder, they're nice and moist.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oils.
Could be how thin the air is here. Maybe, I don't know. This is like the only type of weed I've had, so I don't really know what the rec dispensaries have different.
No clue,
But,
man.
yeah, I showed you yesterday. I squeezed some of that strawberry lemonade. So I found out that my medical card expired 2 days before I went to a dispensary. So I went to the dispensary, got all psyched up to go fucking pick up some flour, and then I realized my card is expired after I picked everything out. So I'm like, fucking A. So I had to get a new card. So whenever I got a new card, I switched dispensaries and got an ounce for $50 of medical grade. I got two grams of freaking shatter for $17.
Fuck yeah. That made up for it.
A shitload of edibles too. Yeah. So I mean,
That made
I'm
up for
living
you
pretty-
having to carry around that medical billboard.
yeah, dude, that thing is insane. I'm like, can I shrink this, please? They're like, no. If you shrink it, it won't be able to read. This card you have to print out now. They don't mail you a card.
They don't
So
mail you
it's
a
like
card
literally
anymore?
a fucking no. So now it's like literally what's the default printer paper size? 8 by 11.
Yeah.
That's the
8.5 by 11.
size of my card. 8.5 by 11. So I have to carry a fucking binder with me, dude. It's ridiculous, but no, it did pretty good, man. I went out and got an ounce for $50. Normally the dispensary has it for like 118, so because I switched membership to them, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you have to have memberships. You have to have memberships.
Yeah.
Or-
Well, no, you don't have to have a membership, but a lot of places, if you them, once a week, they'll give you, a heavy gram and 2 pre-rolls whenever you come in to buy. So, I mean, there are benefits to having memberships, but I can, just because I have a membership someplace, like my dispensary now is Native Roots, but I can still go to any medical dispensary in Colorado Springs and still shop there. They typically will give you member pricing as trying to persuade you to join them. So, I mean, it does. There's a lot of benefits to having, or dispensary, because they can actually, if you're actually sign up as a member with them, they can keep an eye out for strains that you specifically need. Like me, I need Harlequin because it's high CBD. It's a 4-to-1 CBD to THC ratio, so it helps control my seizures. And
well, can you be members of multiple dispensaries? Like,
No.
I don't know. I mean,
you can only be
No,
a
you
member at one dispensary. No. But you can only you
That's
can't
right.
change. You can only change once every 30 days. It's 6 times maximum throughout the year.
oh well, that sucks. I mean, it's cool, but
But I mean, you go into a dispensary like that, and they'll be like a dispensary that
All right.
you've never been in, and they'll be like, oh, okay, well, you get members.
I think we're losing Charlie.
yeah, I was about to say, oh yeah, like I'm not sure if I'm the only one that's hearing you come in like a robot. so Charlie, man, you're coming in broken and barely readable.
To get
Yeah.
the benefits of membership, but sometimes they'll throw a little something your way.
Yeah, cause I'm not even sure if you can hear us, brother.
I don't think he can. He's like finishing his last sentence.
So that's about, I'm pretty. This is ridiculous.
there he is. He's caught up.
Hear me? Like he's in the back.
It's just robot.
Oh man. Well, guys, how about we go into like a 10-minute break, and we'll see if we can get this squared away and come back in and go balls to the wall for our last hour.
I don't know. You got to give me a second to work up to a 10-minute break. I was prepared for a 4-minute break.
Well, let's do a 4-minute. Let's see what we can do, man. It's all on you, brother. I just figured we'd take a little break and see if we can get Charlie back on air with us.
Are you plugged in, or are you wireless?
Charlie?
Yeah. Or is he gone?
Charlie. I think Charlie's gone.
All right. I guess we'll hit an early break. It's not so early. It's only about 15 minutes.
Can
early.
you guys hear me?
Oh,
I'm
there
trying to get
he
everything
is.
squared away to
There he is.
hardline my connection because I'm out on Wi-Fi in the garage right now.
Yeah. I can hear you now.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, that's where I was because you guys said that I was losing the call, so I just went to switch to Wi-Fi or to hardline.
There you go. That'll solve the problem. So let's drive on.
All right, I can dig that. So yeah, I mean, those are some pretty good benefits. I did catch that you can change up to 6 times a year, and you can only do it once every 30 days.
Correct. Yeah, but I mean,
Brutal.
it's not bad to have a membership at one place because the membership I was at before, they would always have that strain that I need, the Harlequin, to help control seizures. So
Right.
it's good to have a membership at a place because they'll grow your plants for you.
Well, don't let those doctors that did that study work with you, because they'll take
Yeah,
you get more
fuck those guys. Yeah, according to this article, yeah, you get more seizures with marijuana, even though I have had mine controlled for going on 4 years with marijuana.
right.
News to me.
You are playing Russian roulette or Jamaican roulette, however you want to call it. Let's call it Jamaican roulette. Man, I was talking the other day, and somebody was talking about how they remember having some really good weed, and they were talking about Jamaican Red. And I said, "How old are you?" I haven't heard anybody talk about some Jamaican weed since probably middle school, and that was ridiculous.
Hey, it's all new to me,
It's
man.
tr-
This is all a big learning experience for me. You guys throw out, oh yeah, I picked up some Flibberty Doo the other day, and
Flippity do. Well, man. All right, so we've got there's an app that I use, and I swear by it. And anybody that I talk to that's considering using cannabis or uses cannabis but doesn't use this app, I tell them to go download it. It's called Leafly.
Leafly.
Leafly. Leafly. And you can just do research, and you can study your strains. You can study what's good for you. You can go in there, and they've got strain recommendations. You key in what you're looking for, something for anxiety, pain, lack of appetite, over appetite. You want to suppress your appetite, dietary supplement,
Insomnia, headaches.
I mean, the list of what cannabis can help you with is quite exhausting. But you can go in there, and they'll spit out. You'll get a return of some 20, 30 different strains, of which you know that those are going to be the strains that are closely associated with that sort of relief.
Yeah, and they allow you to do reviews and stuff on it too, which is really good because you get others' experiences with that plant.
Yeah, and then there are other articles on there. I make a cannabis tea. Whenever if I say my throat's hurting, I'll make a cup of I'll make some canna tea. Instead of smoking, drink a couple of glasses of that, and I won't have to toke.
I make it for my wife when it's her time. I make the tea for my wife for that time.
You make it for you too. Shut up.
I make it for me too, but I mean it's strong enough to fucking kill that pain.
is it good iced, or do you have to drink it hot?
It's good either way.
Yeah, I prefer it to still be warm because some of the ingredients you use in there they stay binded together better when it's warm, but it still works whenever it cools off. Once
it's activated, it's activated.
Yeah, once the cannabinoids are active, it doesn't matter if it's hot, cold, or indifferent. It's got it. But yeah, I mean, it's a simple. You just have you have your tea, you have your flour, and a fat. You've got to have a fat for the THC to bind to for medicinal properties. But that's all it is, and you add some. You add
milk.
tea.
You can use some butter.
Oh, I was like,
Well,
what do you do? Put a piece of bacon in there, or what?
Yeah.
But I mean, I use coconut oil. I use coconut oil and milk, so it's a little bit. It works.
Cause made me. You fucker.
Oh man! Now I'm gonna have to put some bacon in it.
Well, you might.
I might have to put some bacon.
It might be a new thing.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna work.
Call
Some
it the
bacon
cause.
tea. Call it the cause.
I get something named after me, and I don't even smoke weed.
Right?
The can of cause.
The can of
You
cause.
could put little Smokies in there and call them the KJ.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Maybe.
Wah, wah, wah. All right. So,
But no, Leafly is pretty legit. They do have they if you're signed up for their email list, they send a lot of recipes out every month for different weed. That's where I got the butter recipe. Yeah, pretty awesome.
yeah, once you know how to make butter, you can pretty much make any medible and be pretty much amazing. Actually, butter, the can of butter, is really good in just everyday cooking. I mean, if you know how to cook around that the flavor of cannabis, which there's a flavor, but if you can cook around it, which isn't very
Not
difficult.
bad flavor either, but it's
Not
distinct.
to me, but to some people, it's very
Yeah.
distinct. Some people care for it, some people don't.
It's a bit game.
A bit gamey. But you can use it in any application. You want to cook it, have some can of butter with your dinner, put it on some bread. Go ahead, do that. You're going to taste the cannabis there, but you can cook it in a sauce. You want to make
I like making oatmeal and putting some of the butter in it. It's good. It's a good replacement for a wake and bake.
Well, the oatmeal helps cover up the flavor too.
A little bit, yeah. And some cinnamon, some sugar, a little butter. It's pretty legit. I've got my breakfast planned for tomorrow.
Sounds like you're getting hungry already.
Yeah, but I just did a dab of what is this? A Cheezel. It's a pretty crazy shatter. But yeah, you had me dying up until about 30 seconds ago. And I started laughing on mid-exhale, and I just couldn't stop coughing. Oh, that sucked.
My apologies.
But, no, you're good. You're good. I'm good now. I didn't die. I'm just a little dead now.
DED did.
Cough to get off, you know.
Well, that's how you go. I'm telling you, when we go into our break, I'm gonna have to have my medicine, because by the time we get off air, I'm gonna be going to bed.
You got a busy day tomorrow or what?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna start working on the car tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're talking about that.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting out there, and I'm gonna start work. I'm gonna go straight into working on the car and see what I can get done.
I got done with a project today. I'm pretty happy with. The wife's pretty happy with it too.
Heck yeah.
We had her office in the front room. As soon as you walked in, she has her own tax business. She does bookkeeping and all that stuff too. But the office was right in the front room, so there was like never really any. There's a curtain that separates the front room from like the rest of the house. So like you get the kids and everything that they could be heard through there. Well, we moved all of her stuff upstairs today and finished together upstairs in my youngest daughter's room because she wanted to share a room with my middle daughter.
Wait,
so we got all that squared away today.
They wanted to share a room?
Yeah, my youngest, my 4-year-old, wanted to share a room with my 8-year-old. So we're like, yeah, that's cool. We'll get bunk beds, you know. So that bedroom was free. We were going to start putting like boxes and stuff in there because we're getting ready to end up buying a house. So we were just going to use it for storage. And then she had the idea. She's like, oh, well, we should get upstairs. So I got it all, took it upstairs and put it together. And she loved it. So I might get some tonight. I'm pretty happy about that too.
There you go. Well, I've got like we discussed earlier. My wife's pretty pregnant, so I cherish those days. The days when I actually get some.
Yeah. How far along is she? She's
pretty pregnant, man. We're doing January. Well, we're doing February, but they're going to take them a little bit early.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, we both make big babies, and apparently when us two combined, it's like a monster baby.
It's one super baby?
Yeah, right, dude. He's measuring 3 weeks ahead right now. And
wow.
It's
the cannabis in your sperm that you've created an evolved human being.
Man, I don't doubt that. I mean, there's plenty I guarantee you there's plenty of it in there. The cannabis. There was plenty of the other stuff too.
The baby's going to be born and it's going to look like Cheech.
Yeah, he's going to come out. He's going to come out. Hey, man.
The caterpillar on his lip.
Oh man, no, dude. I'm legit. So I already know he's going to be tall. Legs. He's already got a leg that's about as long as my hand. All right. I mean, and he's still in the fucking womb.
Did you get one of those? Did you get one of those?
Funny story here. It's not womb. I just found that out. It's not womb. It's womb. Why'd they put a fucking B on it?
It's like comb.
No, it's comb.
No, it's not comb. You're just saying
it is. It's comb.
I'm too high for your shit right now, Charles or Jason.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What?
It's comb.
Comb. Dude, I don't even know where have you been?
It takes more effort to pronounce the B at the end of that word than is used in the South, man. So you're trying intentionally to fuck with me.
Go ahead and say garbage, asshole. Let's say gabbage.
Garbage. I haven't
Gabbage.
lived there in years.
But you're going to talk about me saying comb, but you used to say gabbage. Cat.
It's like
You pronounce a
nails.
single R.
That's the nails on the chalkboard. Comb.
Oh man, I love fucking with you. This is why we're so
You
good together.
really do. I'm like, because I take shit hyper literal when I'm high. And so like, this is comb. That's like an intentional effort to fuck with me, and I applaud you for it.
I didn't even have to try though. Like it just came to me.
Roads.
But so, now here's something. I got to Google this. I was playing Words with Friends. I'm going to do this while we're on the air. So, did you know the word broses is apparently a word? Broses. Now, I don't know what broses are. The first thing that comes to mind is two guys being
Cav Scouts.
yeah, Cav Scouts sending flowers to each other is what I think of. But let's see what broses. Broses before oh man, I really think that
Where did this come from? I'm
it was on Words
confused.
with Friends.
Oh,
A chiefly Scottish dish made with a boiling liquid and meal. It was definitely not Calf Scout flowers.
I was close though.
Yeah, we were definitely not far off though.
At least it rhymed.
Right? Broses. Oh
No,
man.
that's great. Cav
Yeah,
Scout flowers.
I was going to ask I was going to ask Mac why he hasn't been sending us broses and shit, but I don't want him cooking.
Yeah.
Besides-
that's- sounded
don't-
pretty gross anyways.
Right? A dish made with boiling liquid and meal. Yeah, that sounds fucking nasty.
It's like-
I don't.
Or is it like cream of wheat?
Yeah, we
maybe
don't want
that.
to.
Okay.
don't wanna
What are we
eat the
talking
broses.
about?
We're talking about broses and how it's not Calf Scout flowers.
Okay. But how did we get to broses?
Because this is the green room. We go everywhere.
Okay. Yeah, that it's been a while.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Well, it is the top of the hour. You want to take about a 10-minute break?
I'm down with that, man. Let's get on this break and we'll be back. That would be a good smoke sesh in between sets. Down with that.
All right, you guys do your thing, and I'll just I'll hang out. Maybe I'll get some Gatorade or a Dr. Pepper.
Or Kanakaz.
man. Hey, hold on now. Hold
Get a-
on. We need
get a
Kaz.
Kanakaz.
We need Kaz to be alert, man. I'm gonna need you to have some water. Don't go with any of that hard stuff you just naming off.
Okay.
Mountain Dew. Fucking
Oh,
wild
no,
and crazy,
no.
man.
Fucking
No, I think
Mountain Dew.
about as hard as I get is Gatorade, dude.
All right. You can go with that. That's.
You're wild, bro. Fucking overdose on electrolytes.
I'll calm down.
I don't know if I
calm
can
down.
I don't know if we can keep up.
All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
good.
All right, guys.
WTF Nation Radio.
Look for the day that I voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
back, everybody. You are
Woo!
listening to the Green Room. I'm your
Round
host,
two.
Jason. That's my buddy Charlie. Welcome back. We got Kaz here still on the line with us. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, dude. Really glad to have you
You know,
guys
man,
back.
I'm really glad
dude,
that
I
you
think
covered
we-
down, man. You're freaking awesome.
Thanks, man.
That's what I was going to say, man. I think that we kind of glazed over that in our introduction, man. You know, I just want to say from the deepest depths of my loin, thank you.
Damn it. And we segment talking about your loins. Can we move on?
Yeah, I guess we did already talk about that, but I just want to say thanks, man. Like it's legit appreciated. He's stepping up and helping us out. Everybody that's tuning in again. This is our first time back on the air for a little while. We've been having some technical issues that we've been covering, trying to get squared away, and finally gotten squared away. But in the meantime, we've got our buddy Kaz here that's stepped up and really fucking knocked it out of the park, man. Hats off to you.
Yeah.
It's
Shit,
my
yeah, now
pleasure,
Kaz
man.
is-
I've got the
Now his headphones don't fit because his head's too big now that they don't adjust.
No, man, I've got the capability now, so might as well use it, right?
Yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
we do appreciate it, man. Honestly, it's good to be back.
So, guys, just to drive this point home, man, WTF Nation, whenever they're telling you that they're here for everybody, I mean, we here at the Green Room, we're here for you guys, and we'd be here for you whether we're on air or not. It's just the kind of guys we are, and that's how we found our home, because we're surrounded by other guys and gals that are exactly the same, of the same mind, cut from the same cloth, and everybody just steps, out and about, and goes above and beyond to help the veteran community and anybody, really, just anybody that's having issues. Reach out. This station will help you. That's what we're here for. So
For real, I'm proud to be part of this organization. Just a lot of the stuff that it comes from, not just WTF Nation Radio, but also fucking U.S. Army What the Fuck moments. That they bring comedy. So I mean, it's not always just depressing shit. Like you can't turn on the television without seeing, shit fucking news stories. So it's good to have that break, where
and
it's just
it's
comedy.
It's
veteran
really
humor.
hard being a member of a media production company. That's what WTF Nation Radio is.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of watching the news.
Yeah, for real.
That's
I
right.
haven't turned it on. Like, I haven't turned on the news. Probably, I was talking to Jason about this the other day. Probably 3 months, and I'm happier. I don't go to bed pissed off or fucking worried about shit.
I pay attention to what's going on in the news. I don't consume the news broadcasts. I don't turn on Fox or CNN or MSNBC or anything like that.
Yeah, me either. Not anymore. And I feel a lot better.
yeah,
Like, seriously.
this week has been the first week in a while that I've really paid attention to the news. I've been aware of what's going on. I at least stay in the loop. But this has been the first week that I've really followed like every different thread that I could possibly follow. And it's really exhausting. It's really exhausting trying to keep up with what's going on in our country, what we're doing in other countries.
How many scoops of ice cream? How many scoops of ice cream Donald Trump? It's just mindless shit too,
Right? I mean, who gives a fuck if he eats ketchup on a well-done steak? I don't care. I mean,
No,
it's
I
fucking
care. I draw the
disgusting.
fucking line when it comes to
That's
steak.
look.
I draw the fucking line.
Look, I'm
That's
telling
not
you, it's
steak.
disgusting.
That's jerky.
It's disgusting. It's animal abuse. There's a whole lot. We can go into it. It's
No.
revolting.
Let's not talk about it.
It's revolting. But I mean, who cares? Who cares how the man eats?
Yeah, we don't need 24/7 fucking news media coverage over it.
Exactly.
Or a taco bowl. He says that they were made in Trump Tower and they're the best. Everyone loses their fucking shit. So I mean, I had to turn it off, man. it just became dumb, monotonous, and it's like getting rid of a pill, because you do get kind of addicted to the fucking constant drama, because unfortunately it's just come to the point where tragedy is a paycheck. It's the paycheck.
Well, it's the only paycheck. Like that's, you know,
you
that's
got
the only
12
thing that sells.
stories a day, 12 stories a day, and 11 of them are shit, and one of them is of a little kid that's overcoming cancer. You get that
Right.
feel good story, but yeah, I'm a lot better. I feel a lot better after fucking just completely just stop watching it.
And it's not for the sake of not caring. It's just I really don't like the delivery vehicle that the mainstream media is. I mean, it's like
gotten huge.
It's like they try to tell you what you're supposed to feel about a story that they're fixing to broadcast.
Exactly.
Right.
That's that. Yeah, I liken it to how I've, if you guys that are listeners to us, you guys know that I'm a man of the cloth. I'm a very devout man, very devout Christian. And whenever I find
Irish Catholic,
and so whenever it comes to me finding a church, I always looked at the way the message was delivered, and I'm kind of hitting on what you're saying there, cause whenever somebody, if I went to a church and they preached the Bible, they preached from the Bible, they didn't put their interpretation on it, they just taught what was being said.
yeah,
Then I appreciated and I respected what was being taught in that church. And that's the same way when it comes to the news. Whenever somebody if they can deliver the news without putting a slant.
He was unbiased.
I get tired of the slants that are put on it.
Yeah, it's hyper partisanship is injected in the media now, and it's not just the media now. It's not just politics now. Politics touches every society, everything.
Yeah, that in school. I mean, what our children are being taught in school is, I was talking to my son the other day, and he was telling me how that he was learning about the way our government works and everything. And
Right.
Granted, it's elementary school, so I asked him what he was taught, and nothing of what he said nothing of what he told me had anything to do with the principles behind our government.
Right.
It was everything he told me had to do with actualities instead of what it's supposed to be, and it was just really disappointing.
Yeah.
It hurt hearing him say that. But how can I corrected him, but then his response is, but the teacher tells me this. How do you counter that? The teacher's wrong. Was the teacher always wrong? You can't tell the teacher's wrong. And it's
that's a slippery slope. I can see it. We've been really lucky with my kids so far. Their school. I've met both their teachers. I really don't like fucking the whole labels on politics, the left, the right. It is at the end of the day the same fucking thing, just from different parts of the spectrum, and how fucking hyper partisan everything has become. But it's good that my kids don't really come home saying things like, "This is what the teacher said," or you don't hear anything about them talking about politics in school, which is good, because there's stories all over the news about teachers fucking injecting their politics on their students, at as young as middle school. So it's just refreshing that I don't have to explain that to her yet, or to them yet.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting here in the next few years whenever they get into the grades where freedom of thought, where free thought is actually encouraged, and they have to, and when they start thinking critically, you're going to have to sit there and answer to them questioning everything that they've been taught about
exactly
their government, and the only thing you can say is, well, you're right and you're wrong. I mean, you could be right, but we don't know because Freedom of Information Act doesn't grant us access to that. So I don't know.
It's just to me, it's
like
dumb
just
how
like
we don't facts anymore. We don't agree on anything that is factual. I mean, people agree more on party lines than in actual factual material now.
Well, let's go again. Yeah, I'm not one of the people that I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist. I think that there are some legit conspiracies in this country that we don't know about. I mean, they've been brought to light. A lot of them have. So I mean, we know it happens. But even my 9-year-old son asked, "How did that one man kill all those people with so few guns?"
Yeah.
Or why weren't there?
That's when I stopped watching the news, was after that news story, because it didn't matter. You turn on one news station and it would tell you one thing, the other news station, they tell you another thing, completely opposite things from their, partisan perspectives. News isn't independent anymore. It's care about facts. We care about smearing the bad guy, the other guy,
Right. Well, see,
That's
my son.
Politics in America has evolved to, or devolved into.
And see, my son plays Call of Duty, and he was basing his opinion, like he was basing his question.
You got that new one? Oh, dude, that shit's pretty awesome. I just found my old unit as one of the classes to unlock. 126 Infantry out of Schweinfurt, Germany.
Hell yeah.
It's pretty badass game.
But see, he was basing his question on Call of Duty. Whenever a child that their only reference of gun violence is a video game can ask the same questions that adults are asking, that's whenever you got to wonder, and it really makes me sad that we're to that point in our country where we have people that question this. Like, we shouldn't have to question it. We shouldn't have to wonder whether or not our government, for whatever reason, was just trying to kill a bunch of people to get our minds off of something else.
Yeah, you always gotta. It's almost like every story you hear. It doesn't matter whether it's, I don't know. There's always, you gotta look at both hands. They'll distract you with one thing and then report another. Or like I said, they'll inject an opinion, and then they'll tell the story. And then automatically you're listening to the story, and you've got that opinion rolling around in the back of your head, and subconsciously you may or may not get swayed. But I just don't like being told what I'm supposed to think. Give me the facts.
Right.
Let me make up my own mind. Just give me the facts. If you really want to consume some decent news, I guess it's mainstream, is One America News. They're usually pretty. This is the news. That's what they deliver. They don't inject opinion into it. It's just a straight reporting of the news.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good to know that there's places like that out there.
Yeah, but I find myself just reading a lot of news. I don't watch a television program that does news. I'll read stories, and then I'll read another story about that same event and see, if things match or if there's different facts.
Typically somewhere in the middle is where the truth lies.
Right.
Right. Well, see, I've lost the TV remote. All right. We don't even. We have no idea. I say I've lost.
Dude, no, I'm taking your man card. How the fuck do you lose a remote?
No, I don't have the.
That's
remote.
Like a sensitive item, bro.
No, the wife lost the remote for the cable box. I can still turn the TV on and get Netflix. I got smart TV. I can hit Netflix or go to Amazon and watch movies, and that's all we use the TV for anyway.
Yeah.
So
I use mine for gaming.
All I do is
watch sports. Pats won, by the way, 33-8.
Ooh, that was an ass.
You are like,
literally
the only one on this call that cares about the Patriots winning.
Well, Georgia lost the other day, though, right?
No, Georgia won. Georgia won yesterday.
Oh no, it was last week.
Georgia got their asses whooped last Saturday. That was sad. Like, that's not even funny. I don't even know why I'm laughing. It was terrible.
Because
Georgia
sometimes you get an
lost.
ass kicking, and
I
you got to laugh
I-
about it. Like,
I just started watching the NFL again since
Mhm.
I've been kind of shying away from football
yeah,
since like week 2 when all that drama started.
yeah.
But
No, I get that. A lot of people stepped away from it, but it's changed
Charlie's addicted.
in the last. Yeah, it's a drug, man. I'm a huge sports nut, but I'm a masshole, so there's a reason I'm a sports nut. It's like drilled in us.
Well,
We're
the way I-
brainwashed.
the way I justified that in my brain is the NFL establishment's not going to make or lose any money because I turn on a program.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it was doing.
And I
no
mean,
good.
it's everyone's within their rights to boycott. I'm not going to hold it against people. But probably the funniest fucking thing on the internet now, I think it's up there to replace the whole memes, is the people that actually go on, like, because I follow quite a few different sports pages on Facebook, and just about every comment on there, there's 3 or 4 people saying, boycott the NFL. But they're steady looking, like just following the pages just to tell people they're boycotting.
Right.
So that's pretty much the funniest thing on the internet right now to me.
Well, so, I've never stopped paying attention. I just didn't watch.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't think ratings are where they get all their money from now, because there's a lot of people who don't watch, the typical channels. They go on the Fire Sticks. And so, I mean, their ratings, their revenue, Papa John's cost them more money than the whole boycott did.
Yeah.
Their money comes from sponsors.
Yeah.
That's where their money comes from.
It does. That's why I think Papa John's, whenever they're like, "Oh, the NFL protests are hurting my sales,"
No,
they
no,
get a
Papa
slight bump
John.
for a couple days, but your ingredients are shit.
Papa John, your pizza just sucks. All right.
Your
I hate to put
mushrooms
it
are
out there.
raw half the time.
Now, we already put out that disclaimer that these are my opinions, so I'm gonna fucking share them. The pizza sucks.
Didn't we put something on the page of like a Papa John's pizza? It was
Yeah.
like a cardboard disc, like something you'd buy. It was a frozen pizza.
Yeah,
Just
with
a little
the
bit of-
mozzarella stick.
Yeah,
and
some barbecue sauce and a piece of
Barbecue
string
sauce.
cheese.
Yes.
It's like fucking Papa John says, "Oh, the boycotts are hurting our sales." No, it's your fucking shit ingredients.
Right.
Well,
That's
I
pretty
did pick a good
funny.
week. I did pick a.
I laughed.
I
Fuck
picked
you
a good
guys.
week to start watching football again. Let's see, the New Orleans Saints played today. That was
Hey, that was a fucking amazing game.
that was probably one of the best games. And I don't have a dog in that hunt. I like the Saints just because they're a good. I mean, they're a grassroots, a good team.
Yeah.
I like to see them win, except when they
I
play.
like
whenever
Drew Brees. He's a
They're,
good
they're, a
quarterback.
real, they're a real down home team whenever they're not taking bets and putting bids on who they can take out of the game.
Right. Yeah, it's a dirty game, a little bit.
Shit.
But man, yeah, that
Yeah.
I was like,
Rules
damn,
have been broken.
I was like, damn, the Saints are getting their asses handed to them all the way up until halfway through the fourth quarter, and then someone switched the damn light on, and then they just took off.
Dude, I for Mark Ingram, because I mean he's a fucking. I've liked him since college. He's a good back, but he's had to deal with a lot. I was pretty bummed when they brought Adrian Peterson to the Saints, but kind of glad it didn't work out with him then, because I think that woke up Ingram, and then this other kid that they have, Kamara,
Yeah,
in the back,
yeah,
he's fucking insane, bro.
yeah. He's a powerful runner, man.
He really is, and he reminds me of McCoy, how shifty he is. He can also throw some blunt on you, some beast mode. But no, it was a good week for football. I picked all the games. I think I got 9 of them, 9 of the 12. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we got Dallas playing Philadelphia tonight, and I really expect for Philadelphia to kind of put it to Dallas. I think Philadelphia.
see, I don't know, because Philadelphia typically going in, like especially the last few years, they've gone into the bye hot, like and then they slow down. So until history proves otherwise, I'm just gonna assume they're gonna do that again. Just keep fucking.
The Eagles, I mean, they've got a really really bad track record.
But it's
of
7-6
handing-
right now with 10 minutes left in the half. In the first half, 7-6 Philly.
Yeah, like it's their game to lose.
Yeah. I mean, Dallas always plays division teams. Like it's like the Bills and the Jets. I mean, they suck when everyone else plays them, but in division games, they play for a lot of fucking pride, so they always play tough.
The
But,
Giants actually won a game today.
Dude, that is hilarious.
Did you see that
Against the
catch? That
Kansas
dude
City
was.
Chiefs.
Yeah, the dude was on his back at like the
He
3-yard
slid
line.
for it.
Yeah.
He slid like a baseball dive
Yeah.
almost. But no, it was a pretty awesome thing. I didn't think he was touched though. I think he was touched before the ball got in his arm. But he touchdown right there and ended it. But I was like, oh, the Giants are gonna fuck up this field goal from like the 10-yard line. But no, they actually got it through. So kudos to the G-men.
Chicago fucked up on the. They could have tied the game and gone into OT,
Oh, yeah.
but they missed a field goal.
Yep. Gostowski for the Pats today. He had a 62-yarder.
Dude, I saw that and I was like, holy shit! And even the announcers are
That's
like,
legit.
he could hit a 70-yarder easy.
Yeah, for real.
It hit the net. I
I've
mean,
been good from like 70 yards. But yeah, it's at altitude. It's like 7,000 feet.
That's nuts.
But no, it was a really good game. I'm glad that the Pats fucking showed the fucking Raiders who they really are. 33-8. Jesus.
Well, see, I only pay attention to college ball. I've never.
I've been getting back into college ball. I mean, following the suit a couple years
I'm
since my old man Pat. But
I'm not on any sort of protest or anything against the NFL. I just don't care for the NFL. It's too
right.
it's
No, you
too
have
showy.
like the NFL before they fucking
It's
before
just
the
too
protest.
showy. Yeah. It's real showy. But yesterday, I'll tell you, yesterday my Georgia Bulldogs won 42-13. I mean,
that was a statement game. They needed it.
yeah, I expected the game yesterday to be one of two things. It was not going to be any in between. It wasn't going to be a back and forth game. It was going to be a blowout where either Kentucky won or Georgia
Blow out
won.
one side or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Georgia was coming off of their first loss of the season. And I
They
knew
won
were
like
gonna take-
16 straight, right? If you include last season.
Yeah. I mean, they were on a
It
pretty
was
good
like close to a school
pretty good
record,
run.
yeah.
And Auburn put a stop to it. I mean, I'll give props where props are due. Auburn put a stop to that, and they really put it to us last week. And I expected Georgia to either come back pissed off as hell at that loss and run the fucking board, or come back deflated and let Kentucky walk all over.
Oh, I'm a Pats fan, so you had to say deflated. You're a dick.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but
Steer the
I
conversation.
like what you did.
There.
But dude, I mean,
but no, man,
seriously,
like
for the first
Oklahoma's my father's alma
quarter,
mater. Yeah.
for the first quarter, the end of the first, the score was 7-6, and the Wildcats, Kentucky, had scored 6 points off of field goals. All right, now the Bulldogs, the defense really came through, but offense was really fucking up. They just didn't start clicking till the second half of the second quarter, and they just ran it. They just took
That's
it.
good shit, man. What teams do you follow, Kaz?
As far as college, MSU, Montana State,
Yeah.
only because my daughter goes there.
Nice.
I like the Longhorns, Texas Longhorns,
Yep.
and Ohio State.
That's always
Ohio State is a good football program too.
yeah. That's always a good game though. That Red River rivalry,
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, my father, that's his alma mater. Like I used to watch ball with him a lot, but then I joined the Army, and kind of got tired of college football, and then got into the NFL.
See, I'm just now getting into college ball,
Yeah.
partially because my daughter goes to MSU.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's good to see Mayfield, dude. I think he's gonna get the Heisman. He's been the runner-up 3 years in a row.
Wow. I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
he's due for it.
Everyone's like, he's heads and shoulders ahead of everyone else in the voting for the Heisman. I'm really hoping Belichick picks him up.
What's the success rate on Heisman Trophy winners in the NFL though? Do they stop performing typically, or do they, you know?
Sam Bradford was doing good. What's that?
Yeah, until.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some runoff. You get the hits are a lot harder in the NFL.
Right.
So, Adrian Peterson, he took the Heisman, didn't he? Another Oklahoma guy. And I mean, he's still putting up yards. I mean, he did pretty well today.
Yeah, he's an old man. He's an old man, relatively
he's
speaking.
Like 33, 34.
Yeah.
90 or 110 in fucking running back years.
Yeah.
See, I'm surprised. Like, all right, so I mean, obviously I'm a Georgia fan, so I'm a little bit biased here, but Nick Chubb, all right, that dude is fucking unstoppable. Like, I mean, watching the game yesterday, he got on a 56-yard run, touchdown run.
Nice, very nice.
All right, running against a pretty stacked Kentucky defense. Like, their defense was running pretty good. Was running pretty good there for the first part of the game. And they're putting a stop to Chubb and Michelle. I'm just curious what it takes. Like, the past several seasons, Georgia and a lot of the SEC teams have had some really good running talent and really good quarterback talent.
Where did Gurley play? It was Alabama, right? Todd Gurley?
Gurley was Georgia, man.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's fucking looks like a brand new runner, dude. He looks like he was running back in college for this last, 6-7 games for the Rams. Yeah,
Gurley was scary, man.
Last year he was a punk. Last year he was afraid to get hit somehow for some reason, but now he's like, oh, you know, I'm a big guy. I could take those hits. And now he's running possessed.
Dude, it's nuts, man. I'll tell you, the Georgia is a running team.
Yeah.
And oh man, dude, the runs don't always look pretty because we don't run the same sort of offense that the running teams do in the Big Ten and Pac-12 and all that shit. You know, we don't have really those type of offenses.
Much SEC except in the championships.
Say what now? You just broke up completely.
I said, I don't watch. Oh, sorry. You got me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I said I don't watch much SEC unless it's in the championships, which is like every year.
Right. So, I mean, you pay attention to SEC every year then.
Yeah, but only towards the end of the season, so you can't really notice too much of a pattern or too many differences with Georgia to, you know, any other SEC team.
Right on. Well, see, that was why Texas A&M had such a huge entry. Actually, A&M and Mizzou, whenever they came into the SEC, they made such a huge impact on the conference because of the way they ran the spread, the way that they played their offense.
Yeah, they played Big 12. That's a Big 12 offense.
And see, now we're running a lot of RPO, the run pass option offenses, and Georgia's running the RPO, and fucking it's working.
Yeah. And I mean that shit's proven to work at the majors too.
Yeah.
I mean you got Seattle, fucking you had the 49ers with the read option look. I mean, if it's a good quarterback, a quick quarterback, then I mean that's fucking a whole new dimension to have to deal with.
Oh yeah, and see, I like it.
Pretty exciting. Watching college ball is pretty exciting. I do remember, you know, that it was pretty exciting growing up.
Right.
So getting back into it's pretty fun.
Heck yeah, man. Well, see, I like it because all right. Again, going back to Georgia, man. I mean, I'm wearing my Georgia hoodie right now, so
I've got my patch jersey on.
Nobody cares about
my lucky patch jersey. Well, you brought up your freaking hoodie. The Patriots made the hoodie famous.
Except they suck. I mean, they don't, but they do.
That word, you don't really know the meaning of that word if you're willing to use it in that context.
I don't think that. All right. Well, let's take the air out.
Oh, yeah, I went there again. That's the second one. Good job.
And we've got a true freshman running the fucking offense on the Bulldogs this season. We've still got 3, maybe 4 more seasons of this cat, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a promising future, which is good because, fuck, you had that coach who was with you guys forever.
Yeah, the one that's undefeated right now in Miami. That's right. That would be Mark Richt.
Yeah, that dude was like a celebrity when I was stationed at Fort Stewart. I mean,
he's
turn
a
on
good
the radio
coach.
without hearing him, talking. But yeah, I mean, the program's kind of been a lot different since he left. Who do you have now?
And now we've got Kirby Smart.
Gotcha.
Kirby Smart came from Bama, and Kirby Smart helped build Bama's defense. So he's kind of trying to run sort of the same style. Like he wants to run a heavy, fast defense.
Right.
Where he's deferring to his offensive and defensive coaches to actually get some good people playing. Like I said, I mean, Fromm is a fucking true freshman, and he got thrown in. What was our second game? Whenever Eason got injured, and after Eason got injured, he came in and he's been doing the damn thing. That's so good. To have and he was a 5-star recruit coming into Georgia, and he chose Georgia because of Smart. I mean, we used to have the same conversations every year where we were having 4 and 5-star recruits that were being heavily recruited to multiple universities across the country, where they said that they chose Georgia because of Mark Richt. I mean, so we've still got
this new coach for the Sooners that Stoops hired. Everyone thought that the world was going to end whenever Stoops stepped down. But Lincoln Riley, dude, he's fucking doing big things. I mean, other than an out of nowhere fucking upset by Iowa, I mean, they haven't missed on much this season. I mean, in Iowa, fucking, who else did they beat from the Big 12? Like a couple weeks later, it was a ranked team.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, they played up seasons. But yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it's outside of the Big 12, the SEC. So the only time I really pay attention is during the playoffs to them.
Yeah. I mean, I pay attention to where they're ranked. I see who they're playing the day of. I'll catch some of the game. If they win, they win. If they lose, I talk shit and I carry on. But I don't really pay attention to them. Like, I know that Ohio was really doing
good
well.
Football program. Yeah.
And then they kind of suck, and they've lost games, and they could make it, but it's not likely. So, I mean, I pay attention to it, and I guess in December I'll pay a whole lot more attention to it.
Yeah.
I know on December 2nd, Georgia, regardless of how the rest of the season goes, they are going to Atlanta to play probably Alabama. If Auburn could get it, Auburn could theoretically beat Alabama, and that would put them
Nobody wants to see Alabama in the championship again. It's like everyone with the Patriots. No one wants to see the Patriots in the Super Bowl again.
Oh no, I want to see.
But
I want to see
checked.
I want to see Bama play Georgia. I want to see that game.
I just checked who that second win was that State played, and that was TCU. So they beat Oklahoma 38-31. Iowa State did. When they were the number 3, and then a couple weeks after that, they beat the number 4 seed in TCU, but they lose to West Virginia, in Texas, so it's confusing as shit. But
TCU's got a solid football program, though.
They do, they really do. But other than that, there hasn't been many blemishes on, Lincoln Riley's. Like I said, everyone was worried the sky was going to fall whenever Stoops stepped down, but
Everybody's afraid of change until they see that it was a change for the better.
yeah.
Like
I'm
last
not going to
season,
lie. I'm
we had
afraid of
several,
the fucking future for the Patriots when Belichick retires.
right? So, I mean, dude, well, like last season, we had several losses, and everybody looked at Kirby Smart like he was the worst coach ever.
Right.
They were pissed off that we ever got rid of him, and why didn't we keep Rick? Why did we bring Smart in? Blah blah blah. And now everybody's all over Smart.
Yep.
Thinking he's brought back the damn junkyard dogs of the 80s and 60s, 70s, 80s that were the fucking golden era of Georgia football when we were always dominant. I don't know, man. We'll see how things pan out.
Yesteryears.
Right? I mean, I'm a diehard Georgia fan, and it's one of those. I mean, I'm not going to turn my back on them when they have a shitty season.
No, absolutely not, dude. I'm a Sox, fucking Pats, Celtics, Bruins, and fucking my
right.
His alma mater, Oklahoma for college.
Yeah.
But I've been a fan in this championship. For me, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna be here. I was here when they sucked. I'll be here when they're fucking golden, and then I'll still be here when they suck.
All right.
I think the Patriots. It doesn't. I don't want to say it doesn't matter that Belichick is the head coach. I think he makes a huge difference. I think the Patriots are going to be in trouble when Brady's not a young man anymore. He's in damn good shape. He's a fine quarterback.
40 years old, but he's one hit away. Peyton
Yeah.
Manning was on fire until his neck injury.
Yeah. I mean, because you got Gronkowski. What's his Edelman?
Cooks. Edelman's out for the season though. He tore his ACL the third preseason game.
The Patriots have some serious depth, and the older these veterans get, if they're not bringing in new talent, these veterans are going to go away, and it's going to be tough to recover. Man, you're going to have to find some really talented athletes.
Well, I mean that's what I like about Belichick though is he's got Brandon Cooks, who was Drew Brees' number one target, over 1,000 yards receiving 3 years in a row, and they just didn't want to fucking pay him a new contract. He had one more year on his deal, so the Pats basically gave him a first round draft pick, and the Saints are actually paying that draft pick more than we're going to end up paying Cooks. So it's crazy. That's the thing that I think that the team's going to miss the most whenever Belichick's gone is just making those moves, chest to chest like that.
The way he horse trades.
Yeah. But it's I was one of those people that thought Garoppolo was going to be Brady's successor. And I'm still not ruling it out because there's still talk that San Francisco is going after Kirk Cousins this offseason.
Cousins is fucking hot, dude. He is on it this year.
He's on it, yeah. So there's talk that shit. I'll don a conspiracy helmet right now. But perfect case scenario is they sign him, the Niners, and they don't want to pay Garoppolo an insane amount. So the Pats got rid of Garoppolo just to get something for him because he was a unrestricted free agent next year. So they got a second round pick for him. But what if he comes back? What if he comes back? He just doesn't lock up because they're not going to franchise Garoppolo if they're signing Cousins.
Yeah.
And he's still in the last year of his deal. So he can always say, hey, I want to go back to New England. And once again, checkers, agreement have with Garoppolo. I don't know.
You think Kaepernick is done for life or maybe just this year?
I honestly do. And the dude had some talent. He took a team to the Super Bowl. He was, a quarter away from winning a Super Bowl ring with that spread option. It took the league by fire. Yeah. But whenever he started to suck, that's whenever he decided he was going to, recognize that there was police, brutality and excessive force and, to his community. So that's whenever he sucked and he was benched for Blaine Gabbert, that's when he decided to make a stand, and he got his name in the news. It worked. Motherfucker had the number one selling jersey for fucking good 3 or 4 months. But shit, both people fucking buying it for, just, hey, I like his stance on social justice, or people buying it just to fucking burn it and make themselves look dumb on fucking YouTube and Facebook. But I mean, either way, that money's still coming in. So he got his name out there. I think this evolved into something he wasn't expecting it to.
I think
he's done. I think he's done though.
I think you're right. I think he might get talented. He might be picked up by a team, but I don't think he's going to be on the main stage, man. I don't think if they bring him, if he goes, let's say, to Cleveland, he'll. I don't know. He might do Cleveland some.
Honestly, I think he'd end up being more of a liability than anything else, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to cause
him on a team, on the field, be it on the team. I'm thinking even outside of the team aspect of it. Just there's a lot of players that don't like him, but say he can get into a team and find a team and be welcomed. All right, say he does find that environment and say, like Kaz said, there in Cleveland, right?
Yep.
What about whenever he plays?
And he sucks, and he has to ride the bench, and everyone calls the coach racist. That's a whole different dynamic.
Whenever he plays these other teams and he gets his ass handed to him, he's the starting quarterback, and somebody clobbers the shit out of him on purpose, takes a personal foul, and gets kicked off the field for a few plays. But puts him out for the season. There's a liability there. I can understand why he's not.
I just don't think that risk with the money, because that's all that the league is about. It is about money. So I mean, they're trying to figure out who they least like to piss off.
Yeah,
the people who support or are boycotting the NFL because Kaepernick isn't signed, or the people that are boycotting the NFL because of the stance that Kaepernick took and the league not doing much about it.
I think Kaepernick has turned into a sideshow, and it's really unwanted attention.
It really is, yeah. I haven't heard him say maybe twice that he still wants to play football. I mean, I think that this has evolved, and he does know that he'll get hit. That's why he's trying to put out this unreal fucking number. Oh, if you wanted to fucking play, you're going to take the veterans minimum contract. If you wanted an honest to God chance to fucking beat out another quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he wanted to play football, he would already be playing in Canada right now. Let's be real. All right.
Or arena football league. Shit, Canada, you might fucking, they love.
He'd be playing the CFL. He'd be in the CFL right now.
They apologize for everything up there. So, yeah, I mean,
he'd be playing the CFL right now, and here in a few more years, he'd be back in the NFL if he wanted to play.
But yeah, I think it's evolved into something that he wasn't expecting it to. And honestly, to answer your question, Kaz, I honestly don't think he'll ever take another snap in the NFL. I could be wrong, but the way that the league looks at it now is, yeah, he's got some, might help some teams, but is it worth the headache and the fallout from fans? Like, everyone was so shocked that Miami didn't sign him when Tannehill went down. Yeah. I mean, the dude literally had a press conference fucking where he sat there and said, I admired Fidel Castro. And he's wearing a freaking Malcolm X shirt with Fidel Castro in Miami at this press conference. And they're wondering why they didn't sign him. Your team would fucking write you off.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, it's insane to me that people can't put that everything is racist and that ended by that, that they can't realize that the dude has a career 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. That's not good.
No, he can't win games like that.
He had one season where he has fucking, a 4-to-1 touchdown interception ratio, and everyone wants to judge him off of that instead of like the last fucking, 2-3 years of his existing contract that he just walked away from, I might add. Yeah. But yeah, I can talk about Kaepernick days. I'm that, but I don't think he'll take another snap.
It's unfortunate because, I mean, the dude is talented. You don't get in the NFL because you suck.
It's just not worth it. Yeah. The headache and the baggage that comes with his mediocre, his decent play.
So Kaepernick's got this bad rep now. He's got a bad reputation.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of it has to do with his girlfriend too.
That's absolutely
Ravens
correct.
Tweet.
Yeah.
Jesus, he needs to get his people to fuck.
You say, man, his manager's got a really, really hard job.
Yeah, Django Unchained.
Right.
Fucking that picture. I'm like, oh, she did not fucking tweet that. Yes, she did. Fuck.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's a whole drama aspect to that league now, which I guess is pretty interesting. But I wish it would go back to what it was, but being real, I'm not going to.
I kind of think they're trying to go back to a little bit.
They're towing the line.
What was, where they're bringing back, they've allowed Celebration to come back, which I think, I mean, some of the players need to tone it the fuck down. Some of the celebrations are just fucking ridiculous, but some of them are pretty fucking good.
Some of the good that has come from this, though, I'd like to say, during this past month for the Salute to Service month, every time like someone tweeted, salute to service, the NFL donated $50 to, the Pat Tillman Fund, USO, what's the other one? The major one, Wounded Warrior Program, all these other charities. And so far, just in the last 2 weeks of them doing it, I think they said something on TV today. It was like $8.7 million to be distributed throughout those charities.
Good.
Just from people tweeting #salute to service. So I think that's pretty cool. And that could be the silver lining. The veterans are getting the recognition that, the VA's not giving us. So you got a lot of people talking.
Yeah, and I've noticed that in like commercials and stuff, on the game breaks and stuff, just it's almost too cheesy. I appreciate it, but it's really kind of cheesy.
It seems kind of forced to me.
Yeah.
With all the shit going on now. I mean, Salute to Service has always been cool. I've got a couple jerseys from, I think 2012, whenever they started doing the Salute to Service for the Pats. And then my grandfather left me, he gave me a bunch of his jerseys, and he's a Dolphins fan. So I got one of the Dolphins Salute to Service ones too. And cool. I liked what they did before, because they would give it's like 20% of all merchandise. They would give, the proceeds to those places for the entire month throughout all 4 games of that month. Now they just took it up a notch and said, hey, for every fucking tweet that you tweet out saying salute to service, fucking it's $50 to any of these charities, one of these 3 charities. And so 8.7 million is what I think they said the total was before the afternoon games today.
Wow.
That's legit.
So I think it's pretty fucking awesome. I get a little choked up thinking about that shit too, man, because there's a lot of people that need that help. And I don't want to fucking sound entitled at all, but if there's anyone that it shouldn't be ignored, it's our veteran population, But we're all vets here, so I think we'd all agree.
I definitely agree with you. I mean, we need to take care of our own, and that's again, that's what we're here for. And it's getting close to being that time of the night. We're actually here most of the week, every day but Wednesday. You can tune in to here on WTF Nation on Monday. We've got the Monday edition with Ice. Tied Up Tuesday with Meeks and Grey Cloud. Thursday, we've got Sergeant's Time with Ice, Grey Cloud, Mike Golf, and Doc Madness. Friday Night Freedom with
regular sausage fest.
All right. And we got Friday Night Freedom with Meeks and Mud Puppy. Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie. And same bat time, same bat channel. You've got the Green Room with Jason and Charlie on Sundays. Make sure also tune in for Jose's Taco Truck on Tuesdays and Thursdays between the hours of 12 and 1400. That is with KJ and Ghosty. All times are Eastern time.
Such a funny show.
Yeah, like those cats, they get going, and you might not be able to breathe. Side splitting.
It's not a good look if you're asthmatic or are suffering a bronchial infection. Or smoke a lot of weed, because you're going to be coughing a lot like the episode I had earlier, thanks to Kaz.
Hey, you're welcome, man. All right, man. Well, I got the outro music playing right now, so I just want to thank everybody for being here. Thank you, Jason and Charlie, for an outstanding show. Maybe
thank you for helping.
Maybe the next time we do a broadcast, we can actually get this out on Facebook, which doesn't seem like it worked. So I'll have to figure out why now. See, I did a bunch of test broadcasts. Over like last weekend and then Friday night and I did one last night.
I saw a few of them.
And just trying to get things to work, man, and then this happens. So
that's all right, man.
You're still a big help. I mean, because we wouldn't be here if you weren't pushing the buttons until probably Jason got his new computer, so we should be up and running pretty soon. on our own legs, but we do thank you so much for helping us out and pushing the buttons for us, man.
Well, you're absolutely welcome.
Right on, brother.
Good to be
All
back.
right, guys.
Hell yeah. All right, man. We'll
Appreciate
see you guys.
everything, Jordan.
We'll see you guys next Sunday.
Sounds
All
good.
right.
Thank you, Kaz.
You're welcome, man.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Did you make a wish? Yeah. What'd you wish for?
I went for big movies. WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.